Good morning, everybody. One of my subscribers said, Rosie, you look like you were rode hard and put away wet yesterday. Can you imagine that, baby? This is what rode hard and put away wet looks like, okay? Happy Monday to you. Monday, December 2nd, 2019. And what does that mean? It means 23, really 22 shopping days until Christmas. Down in the description box, just as a friendly reminder, you will see links for Amazon shopping. One for the USA, one for the Great United Kingdom, and one for Canada. Their gateway shopping links to Amazon. And if you use them while shopping, we earn a couple pennies on the deal. And it doesn't cost you a cent. We don't know who you are, what you bought. We just know you're a nice person for thinking about that. Rosie and Missy Jenn, when you do your volumes and volumes of Christmas shopping. Let's get on to the main event. An interesting question from a subscriber yesterday was, Rosie, I know it's the Christmas season of good cheer and happiness and smiling, and Rosie, you're like the Pollyanna and the smiling girl of YouTube, but would you please tell me, looking back on almost 7 years of videos, yes, almost 7 years, are there 3 moments that really stand out as the most scary that you've ever had happen on YouTube? And I will say yes. You've seen some of my throwback videos of life on the streets, but in ascending order from least scary to most scary, here are the top 3 most scariest moments of mine on YouTube. And, well, 2 of them occurred on live streams, and you can go look them up. And one of them was an after reaction, and, well, it was a traumatic day for me. The least of the most scaries happened to be when I was chooching in Oakland in late 2018, early 2019, one of my various trips down to Oakland. Of course, I'd like to go to International Boulevard, which is the place of, people in their rice burners doing donuts and having sideshows and tying up traffic while they go crazy doing spins and things in intersections. Typical Oakland stuff. Well, I kind of prided myself that I wanted to walk all 135 blocks or whatever of International Boulevard, and I did. But boy, when I encountered about the 85th Street to 90th Street, man, oh man, there were just tons of people out on the street. And I could see when I came back, no matter which side of the street I chose to do my return, I was going to be running the gauntlet of people and street people that were going to be none too happy with the Rosie girl blazing through the middle of them and doing a live stream. The key doing a live stream. You think I'm shutting my camera off? Oh no, Rosie, I'd rather go down with my boots on. Well, it turned out that people were screaming at me from their cars and on the sidewalk and yelling to others that she's videoing. Well, it was a very, very tense moment. I remember walking past the East Bay Dragons, which is a pretty rough and tumble motorcycle club there on International Boulevard. And yeah, I think my wig hairs stood on end. Number 2 most scariest moment, when Mr. Z came to town in April. But Mr. Z, we'd like to chooch the hood. Mr. Z's like, no, I want to just go back and reminisce and see my boyhood where I grew up on the Presidio. No, Mr. Z, you want to go chooching. We want to go in the hood and do that. And in San Francisco, well, I took Mr. Z into the hood, and we were down in the Tenderloin district, and I'll tell you, nothing prepared me for the people on the streets. It's always the women that are going to give you trouble when you live stream screaming, she got a camera. I don't know why nobody's messed her a bus, snatched that camera and busted that camera. And then we're walking along the other side of the street and up a small hill. And here comes a guy that walks up to another guy and just throws a carton of milk in his face. And the other guy proceeds, and he proceeds to pull a huge knife out. And Mr. Z was just like, Really? Really? So we ended up, I mean, it was very scary to me. That was the scariest live stream that I had ever gone on with Mr. Z. And I said, you know what, Mr. Z? We were going to be out here till about 4 o'clock, but maybe we should cut it a little bit short today. He's like, yeah, maybe so. Very, very scary moment. You can look that up, Choochin with Mr. Z in San Francisco. The wonderful, handsome Mr. Z. As for my top moment, I'm really sorry I did not capture that on camera. When Marshall and I were journeying through the Great Lakes Tour of 2019, I chose a place to pull off in Milwaukee. Well, I didn't choose a really great place, a really good neighborhood to pull off, and it was a little dicey when we were sitting there. And I had my window down. I'd stopped the stream because I didn't want to give our location out on the live stream and maybe have people call and whatever. But suddenly I kind of perceived out of the corner of my eye that somebody was leaning on my window, my door frame by the window with his hands crossed. And I looked up and he had a bandana covering his nose and his mouth. And I'll tell you, at that moment in time, my heart sank. I didn't freak out. I didn't scream. But at that moment, the only thing that I could think of was that this guy is going to tell me to move over to the passenger seat. We're going to take a little ride, and we're going to have a little fun on an afternoon. Well, that was a really, really scary thing. Thank goodness it was just IRC bully pulling a bit of a prank on me. I also might mention that I looked down and saw that he was packing heat. And that also added to my worries dramatically. That to me was the #1 scariest moments I ever had on YouTube. And you know what? There's probably gonna be many more too. High risk, yes, but high rewards and great YouTube streaming, you bet. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a Monday and go get rode hard and put away wet again. I hope that you have a fantastic Monday, and thanks for being along on a kind of a fun but scary morning chooch. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, take a second. Help the Rosie girl out, and don't forget those Amazon shopping links. All right, thanks for watching, everybody.